The Gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ according to Matthew, chapter 5, beginning at the 33rd verse. Jesus said to his disciples, "You have learned how it was said to our ancestors, 'You must not break your oath, but must fulfill your oaths to the Lord.' But I say this to you, do not swear at all, either by heaven, since it is God's throne, or by the earth, since that is his footstool, or by Jerusalem, since that is the city of the great King. Do not swear by your own head either, since you cannot turn a single hair white or black. All you need say is yes, if it means yes, no, if you mean no. Anything more than this comes from the evil one." In today's gospel reading, Jesus opposes the kind of oath-taking that seeks to control God for one's own purposes, swearing by heaven, God's throne, or by earth, God's footstool, or by Jerusalem, the city of God. The temptation to control God for one's own purpose has been deeply rooted in the human spirit. Ancient magic was an attempt to control the spirit world for one's own purpose. And indeed, the same could be said of certain forms of contemporary magic. However, in the Lord's Prayer, the only prayer that Jesus taught his disciples to pray, Jesus calls on us to begin by surrendering ourselves to God's purpose. Your name be held holy, your kingdom come, your will be done. Jesus' whole life teaches us that God's purpose for our lives is ultimately life-giving. In trust, we can invite God to have God's way in our lives because that way is one that will lead to authentic life. It is not a case of manipulating God to serve our purposes, but of giving ourselves over to serve God's purpose for our lives and for his creation, after the example of Jesus, who in the Garden of Gethsemane prayed, "Father, not my will, but yours be done." And after the example of Mary, whose response to God's messenger was, "Let it be to me according to your word."